Waiting for the time to pass you by. Hope the winds of change will change your mind. I could give 1,000 reasons why, and I know you, and you got to.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Zay Hill, Mr. Juju on the beat, rocking with your man DJ
So of
Top.
course I'm gonna go ahead and start off by doing my brows on camera for you guys. And lately I have been using the Benefit Cosmetics eyebrow gel in the shade number 6. I've definitely been loving it because it's super lightweight, and it has just basically been holding on like throughout the day, and it's very easy to use. It's a little bit thinner than the Anastasia in my opinion. It is a little bit smoother in my opinion. I don't really know, but I do love it, and I have been loving it. And over top of that, in just the little sparse areas where I just need a little bit extra coverage, I take the brow powder from the Browsing palette in the shade number 6 as well, and I just place that powder right in those little areas. I always clean up my brows using either my Tarte concealer or my LA Girls Pro Longwear concealer. It's not Pro Longwear, but my LA Girls Pro concealer, and this Real Techniques definer brush. It may be a definer brush or a lip brush, I'm not for sure. I always add this little setting gel from Benefit Cosmetics, and it is supposed to waterproof your brows. I have seen a couple videos where girls like, you know, wipe over their brows and it has really stayed, but I'm not wiping over my brows, you know, I'm just not. Okay, you guys. So the first thing I want to do is try to push out some of my Becca Cosmetics Ever Matte Poreless Primer. And as you can tell, like, I'm down to the nitty gritty. I'm about to cut it open sooner or later, but I did end up squeezing out just a tad bit, enough for my face for today. But I absolutely love this primer for an oily skin girl. And lately I have definitely been doing the powder before foundation. I always put my primer on, and then I pack on a little bit of powder in the areas where I get the oiliest at. I, you know, blend it in as much as possible, but it's gonna be pretty okay if you don't blend it in all the way. But I do try to blend it in as much as possible. I'm gonna be taking my Urban Decay 9.75 and my Urban Decay Velvetizer powder. That's supposed to make it a little bit more matte than usual. I did definitely love this powder, and I have been loving it. You don't want to use too much of it with a matte foundation, because it can definitely, you know, dry up that foundation. And I did it, you know, I went a little overboard with it, but I definitely still do like the Velvetizer product, because it definitely did change my foundation into like a velvety matte. But make sure you're very careful about how much you put into your foundation. Now I'm going to take one of my latest favorite products, and that's the Pure Cosmetics Cameo Stick. This one is in the shade medium, and I'm using the highlighter side to highlight my face, of course. I like these sticks because they're super convenient. Now I'm going to take the deep Cameo stick, and I'm going to use the darker side to contour my face. Just placing it everywhere I want to create those shadows. And because sometimes those sticks can be a little bit drying, I just mist my face a little bit just so that the product can move a little bit better. And I'm going to blend it out with my beauty blender. Blending out the highlights first, and then blending out the contours. And I will say off camera, I did add a little bit more of that contour shade, because you guys know that I like to be snatched. And I take this Sigma medium angle brush, and I just blend out that contour on my nose using it as well as my fingers to blend out the highlight. I blend that contour down and upwards. And I also go back with my highlighter a little bit around the sides of my nose to blend it up onto my nose again. But this is a different highlighter stick. This is the light stick. I wanted to add some more brightness to my face, so I added the lightest shade from Pure Cosmetics just to brighten it up. And I absolutely love the outcome of that. And lately I've been taking the RCMA no color powder, and I think I got this from Whitley Ella from Instagram. I have definitely been loving this product because it definitely does not give you any type of flashback. It is but I do put this all over my face as well as my highlighted areas. Then I take the Sasha Buttercup powder and I only place that into the areas where I highlight, just to give it that extra pop, because the no color powder just sets the concealer in place, and this gives it that extra, you know, yellow I need back into my skin. Now I am taking the My Little Pony Collection eyeshadow palette and this Get a Grip primer from Pure Cosmetics to get my eyeshadows to stick. I take this white shadow and I place it over top of the primer just to kind of set it. And I will say, if you didn't watch my last video, this primer does kind of have like a tingly feeling to it. I'm not for sure if it's just me, but it did have a tingly feeling to it. So be aware of that. It's nothing like, you know, my eyes hurt or anything like that. Just, you know, it does kind of tingle at first for like literally like 2 seconds. Then I'm going to take this mauve shade and I'm going to use that as my transition color. Then I'm going to take this very beautiful pink shade called Pinkie Pie, and I'm going to use that over top of the first mauve shade. And that color is so vibrant. You really only need like a little. Now I'm going to take the shade Magic and pack it onto the eyeshadow brush from the collection. That's like my favorite brush from the collection, is the eyeshadow brush. And just pack that onto my lid, going back and forth with my blending brush to blend out the harsh edges. I'm going to also take Magic on my lower lash line and just blur that out as much as possible. Magic you definitely do kind of have to work with, so just be careful with that, as well as making sure that you put down like some powder, because there is a little bit of fallout from it. Now I'm going to take this color Princess Sky Star and just kind of open up my eyes and, you know, give it some, you know, extra pop, and place that into the inner tear ducts of my eyes. Now I'm going to take NC47, which is actually darker than NC50. Why, Mac? Tell me why. But I'm going to place that all over my face just to set it and give it, you know, some extra color. And now I'm going to take Cinnamon first to bronze my face, and then I'm going to take Karob to further contour my face. And I am using one of the brushes from the collection. And I believe this is the blush brush. I actually like how kind of wide it is. And it gets just right into the contours of my cheeks. So do I think that the blushes are worth it? I actually honestly do, especially for somebody who's just starting out, because they are basically all the brushes that you'll need for your face. Now I'm going to take this Sigma fan brush and the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero palette, and I'm going to use the shade Glow Getter to highlight my cheekbones.
We can stay forever young.
Let's get it.
I could give 1,000 reasons why, but you're coming, and you know that.
I'm not exactly for sure which Huda Beauty or Huda lashes these are, but these are one of the styles from Huda. And I'm gonna take the shade Conjurer from LA Splash And this is like the darkest blue, like beautiful gray blue lipstick I have in my collection. I absolutely love this shade of blue. My favorite color is blue, but this blue is like really popping. I love this color. But I did go and take Rainbow Dash. I didn't know like it was gonna get that iridescent kind of duochrome purple look to it, but as you can see, it is popping. Alright, you guys, so this is my finished look. I definitely hope you guys liked it. And if you did like it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, share the video if you can, and let somebody else know that, you know, they should check out this video, especially if they want to know how the Pure Cosmetics collection looks on some dark skin. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
We could stay forever young.